A lot of people understand about Israel and has the right to take over the world because it's like
So good.
Wait, hold on. We started getting to Eminem levels.
Eminem levels.
If I'm putting these movies on bed, if I'm on a Twitter already more spaghetti.
Then you do Rap
voice
God, but
It's fast
No.
and
You can do
No,
waffles.
I'm not a god myself. I could not do that. I may be a god among men, but that's as close as I'll get.
I was chatting with another philosophy group earlier, and what we were talking about was if you would liken people to computers, and like how similar you would say that they are.
Yeah, without a doubt, easily.
Yeah, that's what I said too.
Because like everything we do is based on what's already been done, and essentially that's like our code, basically all our memories and experiences.
Ooh,
That's like
fantastic point.
That's like the prerequisite for any future choices we would make. I think what Sam Harris did the thought experiment, like name 10 movies. The only movies you can name are the ones that, you know, are number one, recent enough or good enough to the point that your brain can, you know, call them up from memory. You can't name a movie you don't know. You can't execute an action that's not in your code.
Nice. Yeah, I like it. Yeah, I was talking to some guy that was like really into, because I don't know the concepts that he was talking about, but it was computational, non-computational, and hyper-computational. And he was saying that people are not like computers because because of something having to do with hyper-computational programs. And it was hard to follow, but kind of sounded interesting.
Well, see, hold on. Through the zeitgeist, I know about Secretariat as a good horse movie, but only through a third party because of BoJack Horseman.
You knew about it.
So I didn't know about Secretariat as a movie on its own before I was privy to the material of BoJack Horseman making a joke about Secretariat being a movie about horses.
Yeah, but I think the point is that you still knew about it and you're able to
So
recall.
I didn't know about it until then.
Yeah, but if somebody
That's
asked you a
exactly the
question
point,
right
actually.
now,
Well, I don't. But the only thing I know about Secretariat is it's about horses.
but he was to name the movie, not to
that's the
describe.
crazy part. That's the crazy part, because that's the only thing you would know about Secretary or whatever until you watch it. So you can't create new code for yourself, basically.
Like, I could create the entire mythology of the movie if you want. It's not going to be what the movie is, but I could make one if you want me to.
Ooh,
I could right now make a movie out of a horse that's winning races.
Right, but that wouldn't be Secretariat.
Well, how do you know? If you would have to have seen it for you to know.
Right, that's true. Yes.
Sorry.
I think the language that we speak.
Secretariat.
Can I get a word in, please? Can I get a word in, please?
Go ahead. I haven't heard you, Niven. Go ahead.
Is the language that we speak similar to? Can we say that the language that we speak similar to computer language?
English?
As in patterned?
I feel like
Yes.
I feel like it's more.
I'm kind of confused by the question.
I feel like it's more about
We can-
experience. I feel like experience is more of the code than simply language.
But I'm saying the way we communicate.
Right. So basically, the code of a computer is what causes the computer to do what it does, and it's not necessarily language alone that causes us to do the things that we do. It's also, you know, built up to our experience and, you know, how we live and how we want to live. That's all part of the code that goes into us human beings.
I like it, but I'd like you to say it again in a different way if possible.
Yeah, I like it too, but could you say it's sexier?
I saw Sam Harris there. I saw Sam Harris.
Yeah.
I saw Sam Harris saying that. Like, I like that. I like that.
I'm talking about nature and nurture. If we're nurtured to do the things that we do in being programmed.
Yes.
You know what I love? I'm
Maybe.
sorry, I'm being an asshole. Excuse me.
I mean, no, it's okay, Andy. We all know you.
Oh, you're so good to me.
I love you, my dude.
I love you. I just wanted to say that I also love, as another thing, I love Taylor Swift. I'm coming to terms with it. It's kind of like realizing you're gay. I mean, sometimes, the two...
Ooh, I have a question.
Cheese has a question. Tell us.
So recently, like, I've always been straight my whole life, and recently I've been thinking a lot about, so I'm married, I have a wife, and I'm really happy as far as sexually. I'm not interested in a man. But how gay is being open to experimentation? Like, how gay is that?
Gay.
That's already gay, my dude.
But that's what I'm trying to say. What do you mean by gay at that point?
Technically speaking,
Comfortable with exploration. That's incredibly hetero.
no, it is.
Yeah, exactly. No. Honestly, if you would fuck the butthole of your female counterpart, then why would it be more gay to fuck the butthole of a male counterpart?
Serious question, mild
Because I'm
cheddar.
attracted to women's buttholes and not men's buttholes.
Great question. But like the butthole itself, are you attracted to that specific part?
No, I'm attracted to the butthole knowing that it's connected to a woman. So if it's a butthole of a trans woman, I'm not attracted to it.
Agreed. And same thing with men, as far as I'm concerned. But
this question is
Makes you a transphobe.
What if you
no? If we look at the gayometer, right, all the way on the far gay, are the
Far gay.
dudes, right, and all the way on the far the opposite, the anti-gay, the straight,
Anti-gay.
and all the women, right? So the case that you're describing is somewhat in the middle, It's not like you full on want to go get fucked in the ass or something. Like, you're not like that. Just
right.
Well, unless you're getting pegged by a woman.
Yeah, is wanting to get pegged by a woman gay?
What's gay about that?
There's nothing gay about being pegged by a woman. Homosexuality, we have to think about fundamentally what that means. It's not homosexual to have something in your ass. Think about how we define homosexual, the language that we've all agreed to follow.
But if we're trying to look at
Travis, have you been pegged?
Travis has been pegged and he likes it.
Of course I have. I've experienced everything in the realm of heterosexual sex.
There we go.
How about the realm of gay sex?
Just wanted to make
Zero.
sure.
I have one of my hard no's is anything to do with a man. I have 0% interest ever. I find men disgusting in that way.
Well, that's not.
Well, first of all, I would doubt that. I would doubt that because
I find Travis to be
sometimes honestly I'm surprised how women actually get attached to us. Like we all know how filthy men are. Hello? I don't know how they do this to us.
Yeah, so and I'm saying, like, it's not that if I'm
in an interesting conversation,
with a cock in it, I'm gonna I won't be able to masturbate or something like that. It's more like the sexual essence of male. When I'm looking at that to question whether I find that appealing or not. Most of my friends in my life, like, a lot of them have been like, yeah, I have like a 1 or 2% attraction to men or something like that. But yeah, it's always been 0% for me, and it's not for a lack of thinking about it,
okay,
or pontificating over it. It's just that's just the reality of I would argue the way my pleasure drive is set up.
Well, I have a question then, if that's the case.
I would have to disagree.
May I?
Yeah, go ahead. Let's just make sure we're talking one at a time, or else it just sounds like noise.
Sorry.
Yeah, is it alright if I'm sorry, I don't want to steal the conversation, but if that's the case, would you say that a devil's three-way, a woman being, spit roasted in that case,
Yep,
just,
never.
that's not
no
for
men
you.
involved 100% is a hard no for me. I'm not
Trav, I
gonna
agree
be
with you.
high
Okay,
fiving
well, let me-
touching. I'm not gonna be high fiving a dude while pig roasting a chick. It's just not gonna.
But like, let me ask you another question then: is being in an encounter with two women okay?
100%, no problem. It's just yeah. The hard no is specifically man.
So philosophically, you're saying that it's okay, but you're saying that you personally experience no attraction towards men.
Zero, and it's like it's not just no attraction. It's like it's like the anti-attraction. Like I do not want to be in a sexual experience with like other men in the room.
Interesting.
Yeah, I agree with you, Trav. I feel like if somebody was claiming to be straight, like entirely straight, like you are, it would not make any sense if they were like, yeah, but I'll be with my bro while we're both fucking a woman, because in my opinion that is kind of gay.
Well, I've had the opportunities to be like, oh man, this hot chick, we should fucking pig roast you, bro, and I'm like, no, like that's disgusting to me. But to most men, honestly, I would say most men I've spoken to are like fucking down with it. They don't care.
Hey, can I ask you another question then?
It can't be a stranger. It can't be a stranger. Like, it can't be somebody you don't know.
Can I ask you like another question?
That's a question. Have you ever done?
If it's somebody you know and like you're just screwing some chick, I mean, me and my buddy Adam spit roasted this chick when we were like 17. It was fucking awesome. We had a good time. We high-fived and everything. And afterwards, we went and fucking like drank an entire bottle of vodka. It was a great time. You know? We both busted it up. We didn't do anything gay with each other at all. We just fucked this chick.
Look, fair enough.
Time.
Like whenever, and I don't think that's. I'm just explaining what what my genetics has built for me to like. Yeah. And I think it's funny, as soon as someone starts getting into kink shaming, they start, they're kind of acting like, okay, well, there's some standard of what normal sex is. Well, show me the object of normal sex. The object doesn't exist. These things are of the subject. So you're going to find, general statistical norms across subjects, but that doesn't mean there is an objectively normal way to have sex, because sex isn't necessarily procreation when you have a species that's having sex for other reasons, right?
Wait, can I ask another question?
Yeah, ask away.
Yeah, so I would assume, because I mean, as a heterosexual man, that would probably mean that you engage in watching pornography, correct?
Yeah, rarely. I mean, normally.
But I'm just saying,
it
works.
I do not have a hard time finding sex partners, so it's usually that.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, when you watch pornography, it works.
What works?
You achieve the reason you watch the video in the first place, correct?
Oh, yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah, so that would signal to me that if there was a penis on screen, then you're not as straight as you think you are.
Well, I don't think there's anything. It depends what the penis means when you're experiencing that image or that video.
Because earlier you said that you wouldn't want a man in the room.
Yep.
But then you also have orgasm to porn.
Yeah, so there's a difference between being an observer of, let's say, another couple having sex, right, than actually being involved in their sex.
So you're saying you're okay with being the man watching a man and a woman have sex, but you're not okay with being the man having sex with a woman and being watched by a man.
No, I'm okay. Like if I was to make some like dirty video and a man was watching it, like that doesn't bother me. Like if I had, but I don't want to.
Oh, so you are okay with it then?
I don't want to be around other men while I'm engaging in sex.
So you are okay with a man being in the room while you have sex with a woman?
No. Of course.
You just said if there was someone filming it, you'd be okay with it, right?
No. That's not what I said. I said.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no. If it was filmed and I had heard that some dude had jerked off to it at some later date or something like that, that wouldn't bother me. That's what I was getting at.
I think that
Oh,
would.
well, that's fair.
That's all I was saying.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying that, like, what's your standard for 100% straight? Because it sounds like you're saying that you're 100% no wiggle room, right?
Yeah, like, well, it's one of my like hard no's. Something I find.
Well, I'm just saying, isn't that an
disgusting
absolute?
in a sexual sense? I find it I find men disgusting in a sexual sense. When looking at men from, like, not like me imagining I was that dude in that porn scene, but imagining like dudes in a sexual way, like from like an attraction perspective. That's what I find disgusting.
Well, which parts? Because, you know, every part of a man is the same as a woman in some way, except for maybe hair and structure.
Well, no, it's I mean, men and women are biologically different in many ways, right?
Right. Which ways are you saying are disgusting, and which ways are you saying that aren't
The
disgusting?
things that make a biological male a male.
Okay, well, I'm just saying, if you had a man that looked like a woman, except for maybe the penis, obviously, because that would probably be biologically required. But
Yeah,
like,
and I also-
would you say that that is the most attractive man, and you're not
so the
attracted to
brain-
him?
Yeah, so it's also the you know, just the feeling that it's a woman is part of that. Just like how monogamy is, like, if we want to look at like monogamy as a or, you know, the kinds of relationships that you prefer, if you want to look at those in like a kink sense. I have a kink for monogamy, and some people have a kink for polyamory. Some people have a kink for polygamy. I think these things are just you know, pleasurable preferences, right?
A kink would be a subset of the standard of these are the types of people that I would want to have sex with, correct? It would have to be a subset. Because a kink doesn't matter if you don't want to have sex with anyone.
Sorry?
Well, I'm saying you have to have a
Well,
standard
some
of
kinks
people
are
before you can even
absent
have a
other
kink.
people. Some
Well, no,
kinks are
I think that
absent
kink
other
comes... Well, of course, you got me there, but when it comes to having sex with other people is what we're talking about. There has to be a standard of, you know, these are the type of people I'm into, these are the type of people I'm not into, correct?
Yeah, to a certain degree, it all depends on the individual, right? Like,
Right, because the kink could be poly.
well, but the yeah. So can you just try to like clarify or simplify what you're asking?
Well, first of all, I think it'd be best to, you know, we're talking about sex, and obviously we're not talking about sex with a non-human partner, so we're talking about two humans at least. So there could be more, but at least two humans.
Okay,
correct?
we can talk about that. Yeah.
Well, I kind of thought that. Well, I guess you could say that sexuality doesn't have to include that, but the most
No, it
interesting
doesn't.
conversation,
I mean,
right.
there's
But
a
the
lot
most
of people
interesting
that have sexual relationships with inanimate objects, right?
Right, but I'm saying the most interesting conversations come from between sex
they're
between two
called
consenting partners.
Ooh,
Correct.
I don't think so. I think I've had some interesting conversations, but we don't have to put a value judgment on that. We can just say that, you know, there are interesting conversations to be had about sex. I think is enough.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, fair enough. I assume I just had assumed that we were
Fucking
talking.
over. God, my team's retarded. Anyways, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I had thought we were talking about just human conversation, so I'll just assume that that's what we're talking about from now on. But if you'd have to say, I guess the idea is that most people, in fact, virtually no people, say that except for the polyamorous people, would say that I'm into all types of people. No one else besides the polyamorous community would say that I'm into every type of person, correct? So everyone has some sort of standard as a yes or a no between for the question that do I want to have sex with that person?
But I mean, there's heterosexual people that are polyamory.
As far as polyamory, but I was thinking
polyamory is it has nothing to do with your individual sexuality. It has to do with your.
I'm sorry, I meant pansexual. I was saying polyamory. I meant pansexual. I'm sorry about that.
Yep.
Yeah, so except for the pansexual community, I'm so sorry. They're the only ones that would say that I don't really have a standard. Everyone else who says yes or no to people has some sort of standard, even if they don't really know what that standard is.
Yes.
Well,
Is that correct?
pansexual only lacks a standard based on sex and gender.
What?
Well, I mean, pansexual, as far as I'm concerned, answer the question of what are you into with the answer yes. So they're pretty easy to answer.
Pansexual just means you like men and women and anyone who might identify outside of those.
Yes, so every person on the earth.
No, because
as far as body type.
No, not as far as body type. It goes as far as sex and gender, and that's it.
Well, I think here, can I just help clarify this conversation because this is bouncing all over the place. Why don't you try to identify the things you do not want in bed. Usually those things are much easier to identify than the things you necessarily want. Because most people have not had a lot of experience to know what they want, but they've had some experiences to know what they absolutely do not want. So I think that's what identifying your hard nose is all about. My hard nose being no other dudes involved, and scat, scat play. I've also had to add one more because I don't know what's going on out there, but there's women having sex with their animals, and they want you to be involved in it. So I've had to add that to my list.
What? Wait a minute.
Interesting.
Wait. Are you saying that somebody offered that to you and you had to say no?
Yes. This is not just once, on multiple occasions.
What are the odds?
I don't know, man. But I will say, you know, and this is 100% based on my experience. I don't know if there's any statistical realities to this, but both times they were Filipino women.
That doesn't mean that's wow.
What? Just out of curiosity, I know you pointed that out, and obviously I don't think. But I'm just saying, I know you added that for some reason. But can I? And I know you didn't really think about it. You just said it, and it might just be true, and that's the only reason you said it. But is there any other reason, by chance, that you said that they were Filipino besides the fact that they just happen to be?
What?
Are you saying that Filipino women skew in the direction of animal fucking? I know you're not, obviously, because you're an upstanding human being.
I mean, it was
that extrapolation is absurd. If you
it was twice, though, Travis. It was twice. What are the odds?
No, I'm just saying based on my, and that's why I preface it by saying I don't have any statistical, but I think Cheddar might have heard that.
I'm curious, Trav. Like you probably already told this story a bunch. Probably, like, or maybe you didn't. I don't know. But like, what was it like? Both times, like it was their dog or something, or like what?
Yeah, they were like hinting at like how, you know, isn't my dog the best? And like always talking about the dog and bringing the dog into when we were having talks about sex and things like that. And it's like something's going on here. And then yeah, there were a couple things that I won't mention that they basically came out with it and said like, oh, I like including my dogs in the sex. And I was like,
God.
I'm pretty sure, and I also
hard no for me too, Travis.
I also told them that I'm pretty sure that is illegal in Canada, and then they were like, "Oh, I didn't know." So they probably went and researched it. I hope, because they were pretty reasonable people.
Also, it's fucked up, and there's probably something wrong with
people? Hold on.
Yeah.
You say they were pretty reasonable people?
Yeah. Do you, Daniel? Do you think it makes someone unreasonable to want to eat shit while having sex?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, I think you're just a kink shamer then.
No, it's unreasonable to eat shit.
It is unreasonable to eat shit.
No, it's not.
Why is it unreasonable?
Reason it. Reason the positives you get out of it.
It makes me really horny and makes me amazing
climaxes. Yeah, exactly. It makes you climax. Like, You guys need to expand your
I'm not
outside your own mind.
Dude.
View the
I'm
pleasurable
not expanding
pursuits
that
of
one.
other human beings.
And no one's saying you need to expand to it, but I think what Travis is saying is something very simple. There's nothing here about reason. You don't choose your sexual activity based on reason. You don't go, when
I
we
think I'm
think
gonna-
about it metaphysically, grounding the
But-
act of penetration. Like no one's doing that.
But
Just
but that's
fucking
so
wanna do it.
interesting because Pangburn earlier just said that he did, and he said that he was 100% straight and not interested in
No, I
men.
did not
Men.
say that.
So that would be a standard by which you apply.
Hold on, Cheddar.
Yeah, what's up? No, I'm not. I'm
When you
responding to
talk about
him.
My positions.
Uh-huh.
Represent them properly. I did not say I was 100%. I said I have zero attraction to males and I find them repulsive in a sexual sense. That's what I said.
Yeah, you said you were 100% straight, and you agreed to
I
that.
did not say I was 100% straight.
I asked you.
I would never.
Okay,
use
well that's
those
fine.
words.
That's fine. It's fine to move on, but like I thought you had, at least when I said that
know,
comment.
but that's like the fourth time you've strawman my position. So you should just listen a little bit more clearly.
I mean, I would love to agree with you, but I don't know if you got that 100%.
If you had to give a percentage, though, wouldn't you say 100%?
As far as I know, I think I'm 100% straight. I've never been attracted to a man sexually.
All right.
Yeah, if we want to talk in those terms, yeah, I mean, it's like these having no men involved in my sexual life. If you want to call that 100% heterosexual, then sure.
I mean,
but yeah, that's one of my hard no's. I don't want to like pig roast a chick with Brad Pitt while high fiving him. Like,
see, but
that
then
sounds disgusting to
the
me.
question becomes: when you watch porn, Travis,
Yeah.
does the guy matter at all?
No. The guy matter. I don't even notice it. Like I think, you know, and I've thought about this a lot. Like I've wondered like what goes on in the mind of someone when they're looking at porn. Are they imagining themselves as that other character? I'm very much fixated.
What if it's like 3 inches?
Do anything. I'm gonna take a bath.
Yeah, I mean, I might notice it if it's something odd
There's
like
a
that,
bottle
or
of rosé.
or like if it's like a 4-foot cock or something like that, and I'll be like, holy fuck.
I had a beer in this
But
one. So there's no beer
I
left, but I
won't
cleaned up
think
fridge.
of that part, the
Yeah,
male
thank you.
part.
There's meatballs and
It's
most of
all
the other
about
stuff in the
like the
bottom of the
woman's
drawer.
I warmed
experience.
up the chicken soup
I'm
and
with you. I agree.
added some stuff to it. So if you want that.
I cleaned the lid, but I...
Yeah, nobody gives a damn about the
Well,
guy.
there's one chicken soup on the
Just throw any dude in
Well,
there.
women do,
I,
right?
I want the woman to like I want them to actually enjoy it. So when it's like a 3-inch kind of like, is she enjoying it? It's all fake.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm like,
Oh yeah, and that's why like I find that like the amateur porn stuff is where it's at because you don't have like the women in studio, whether or not they're enjoying themselves or not, they're gonna kind of act that way, and you know.
Yeah, I like the overact.
you like the overact? You said?
I don't like you.
I'm thinking most people don't like it. Unless
Agreed.
you can't tell that it's overacting.
Yeah,
A lot of guys don't care, though. It's weird.
but I'm wondering, Cheddar, I wonder if you would, you know, when it comes to people's sexual proclivities, are you willing to say that
This is for you, Andy.
it's not irrational to pursue your sexual kinks, regardless of what they are?
I would say there's instances where it would be irrational. Actually, to answer the question, that was not for me.
Oh, well,
No worries, no
anyway.
worries. Yeah, go ahead, Daniel. Go ahead. Absolutely.
And so, for example, there are these, people called pedophiles.
Yep.
Do have sexual attraction to children, and I don't think it's very rational for them to pursue their sexual fantasies, or
I
people
agree.
with rape fantasies, because there are people that fantasize about rape.
Oh,
Mm.
dude,
That's one of your
fantasies.
kinks.
Dude, you just have to make sure you sign a contract.
Right.
Like rape fantasies are like a big thing. It's part of the.
It's
plot
not
of
rape
sex
if you sign a
work.
contract, though.
Look,
It's a fantasy. It's a rape
so
fantasy.
But it's not rape.
No,
there's rape
no one
and
believes it's rape. It's a rape
Right.
fantasy. That's different.
So it's not rape. It's not.
No, I just want to
Here,
point out that there's
like,
rape and there's CNC, right? So CNC is fine because you and your partner, whoever you're doing with, is cool with it. Actual rape, people actually want to go out there and find someone to subjugate because of the power dynamic or something. I don't know what people rape, But you know, there's people with actual rape fantasies that actually want to rape people. And,
Oh,
you know,
I see.
things like that. I think kinks like that should definitely be shamed and punished. And you know, yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. Anything that's not. I think it's like you need to rationalize your moral foundation and and you know the pleasurable pursuits that you're feeling with the law of the land. If you're not doing that, how much wellness can you pursue when you're behind bars, and how have you considered? And look, this is why I would point people towards my moral foundation, why it's my prescription for humanity. When they are feeling these certain sexual fantasies that they might have, a good indicator that they need some help through therapy or through doctoral care of some kind would be if their sexual proclivities are driving them towards acting antithetically to the well-being of others. So that, and also acting antithetically to the law of the land.
So like Kantian philosophy, essentially, means and ends.
Yeah, you can put it that way.
Because it's like, as long as you're not like subjugating someone else and not treating them like an ends of themselves, then you're okay.
Yeah, I mean, but this is way before Kant, right? This is just this is fundamentally just talking about how are your actions going to affect others' well-being. This is Marcus Aurelius. This is earlier. This is humanity. Sure. 101. How are my actions going to affect those around me?
Kant was just also trying to ground it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's not like he came up with the means and ends concept. He was just trying to ground it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But I wanted to add that a lot of people have like the power kink. There's many different ways you can use it. Rape is unique in its way that it's aggression, and it's aggression at human beings, and it's power in that regard. But many different power kinks, you can have that. And one of my ex-girlfriends, she wanted sometimes, for me to just be like, just take me, just fuck me, like just do it. I was like, okay, I'm into it. Like, let's do it.
Unless she says the safe word.
And then she says something that she finds uncomfortable. There's certain things she's like, I don't find this and this and this comfortable. I was like, no problem, but you want me to just do what I want. She's like, just do what you want. I'm like, okay, right? Yeah. That's in a way, that's one of those things.
I never really got that, like the throwing around and hair pulling and choking.
Oh, Nivik, you disappoint me.
She didn't like to be choked. She didn't like to be choked, but she didn't mind if I spit on her.
Right.
I don't kink shame. I wouldn't kink shame.
Listen, at the end of the day, my kink is to get them off. So whatever gets them off will get me off, which makes it really difficult. Like if you're having sex,
that's me too.
They start like coming, it makes it so hard not to come. Like no. And you have to like train. You gotta be Zen Master 5000.
By the way, at some point, kissing a kink considered kinky? I'm just wondering.
Is what? Kissing?
Was kissing considered?
Well, here's the interesting thing. This is why I don't play preferences with that stuff. Like I just call it all kink, right?
Yeah,
because
I
some people will say, oh, I don't like kissing or something like that. I just think it's all kink. Like there is no normal, when it comes to human sexuality now and how it's expressed. But when it comes to reproduction, sure, you can make some objective arguments about, the semen has to get into the eggs, and here are some common ways of doing it. But again, even in that sense, it's like doesn't objectively have to be done this way. The ape can come in his hand and then digitally put the semen inside her, right? So it's
Hey, I don't want to derail the subject. I was going to change the subject, but if you wanted to keep going on that, I'm sorry.
Go for it, man.
Go ahead.
Well, anyway.
I was asking, fuck, now I forgot what I was saying. I'm gonna back out real quick. Hold on.
What were we talking about before, meaning? Or just...
For anyone who's watching, I'm going Immortals here. I'm on a way better team this time.
Gotcha. Andy, what's with the fucking emo look?
Well, I'm glad someone mentioned it.
Oh my god, yeah, now I'm not paying attention to you. I'm muting you now. Goodbye. He can't talk.
He can't.
No, I muted him. Just as the bait. He's baiting. He's baiting attention. I love you, Andy.
Andy, the hammer has come down.
Oh, I figured it out. Okay, so is it no longer gay if you have sex with someone who fully transitioned?
So it wouldn't be gay. I think that's a different category, like a trans woman. I'm not attracted to trans women, and some people will say, well, what if they have a perfectly, shaped, new shaped vagina, and they
can't tell the difference.
Yeah, and you can't tell the difference. It's like, no, I still have a fetish in my mind, knowing that it's a biological female.
Yeah, I have a
kink.
So like on Twitter, a lot of people are like, "Oh, you have a reproductive kink," and I was like, "Hell yeah, I have a reproduction kink."
do,
That's what I do. I have a reproduction kink.
I do
don't
too.
give a shit.
So like I think it's just like the degree of, it's not necessarily gay, but it's having sex with a biological male. So you're having sex with a woman, yes, technically, sure, but it's also a biological male. So it can't be considered straight entirely, because straight is male and female.
Straight just means that you're attracted to things that look like women. Like you can, like a heterosexual male could look at an anime character and be like, she's hot, right? We all did it. We all watched cartoons as kids, right? Are you then not necessarily straight because it's not really technically a perfect woman? No, you're attracted to.
But I think the distinction is like, well, people ask like, this is the fun meme of like, oh, trans aren't gay, and it's like, well, they aren't necessarily up until this.
Can't hear you, Andy. Like your mic's in your ass or something.
Oh God, I'm sorry. No, it's because the way I hold my phone, it totally covers it.
Yeah, don't put your phone in your ass.
Oh, you can see where it is. So are traps gay? I would say no up until a certain point. The cutoff is when you realize it's a man, but you keep going. That's gay, in my opinion.
Yeah, so in my personal opinion, I have no issues if it's fully transitioned, because you can't really know until you know. And
well, yeah, but there's a difference between a trans woman's vagina and a biological woman's vagina, right?
I have no idea.
I mean, in theory.
Okay, from
well,
what
not
little
in theory, it's actual, right?
Guys,
depends, man. What specific factor are you talking about?
Happening, but I think it's when Nivik is muting himself. Nivik, can you unmute yourself?
Yeah.
So I think his is just turning red for some reason when he mutes himself.
I'm not muting myself. I'm looking at it, and I'm not doing that. I'm not sure what's going on. Okay,
yeah,
so
a lot of people have actually got a report that someone or something in the server is muting people. We might have a hacked bot somewhere.
Okay.
Right?
Well,
let
we're
me
gonna
work
have
on
to.
that. I'm gonna mute myself and gonna try to work on it real quick, guys.
Okay.
Figure out what's going on.
Thanks, Don.
Do you think it might be some kind of nefarious mystery? Travis, maybe
100%. That's usually how these things. These are server attack tactics. People who might have been an admin or at one point were or something, or who were upset. We have to find out who it is. I have to find out who's been touching the settings of the bots.
Yeah, I have a couple people in mind that still have mod power that I'm probably just gonna remove that from because they're not really around anyway.
Is it possible they could be listening right now?
No, I don't think so.
Darn it.
Unless it's Jolly.
Jolly.
Hey mate.
If anyone in here is doing this, I want you to know that I still love you.
I don't. I want to exile for you.
Don doesn't love you, but I still love you. So I guess I'm attracted to trouble.
Who has mute powers? Trav, do moderators have mute power?
Mods do, yeah.
Mods do? Okay.
You guys can see why I'm always wearing glasses, right? My eyes are so fucking Asian.
Okay, we need to make another, like, category of people that are, like, have mod power, except they can't mute or unmute people, and just throw all the bots there. Then that should work. Let me figure out that.
Yeah, we can just take away that privilege from bots, right? Or
yeah, let me just do that. Yeah, I'll go to bots and I'll take away that privilege.
Yeah.
On a side note, I can't mute anybody right now.
Yeah. Why is
for whatever
that?
reason.
Like, so Dal has
I don't know.
lost his ability.
And you're an admin judge. What is
I just
going
check
on?
every minute.
Yeah, I can't even
what the
see
hell
my
is-
own.
You'll be
Hey,
fine.
Don, while you're in there, do you mind, like, actually, I'll do it. Fuck it.
Travis getting down to business.
I have to win this game first, though.
You're right. Priorities.
Ooh, Trav's got the most kills this match. Killing it. Canadian Thanksgiving.
So it's make believe, pretend Thanksgiving.
So a person that looks very fine as a woman, but they have a, you know, they have male genitalia, and you don't know it, so I guess you just roll with it. Is the argument?
Oh, I would roll with that all the way, Nivek.
Yeah, we're just saying, like, it depends who you are, Nivek. Like, Nivek, would you have sex with a trans woman?
No.
Right. Yeah, no, that's the same as me. Like, I don't want to have sex with a trans woman. I am very much attracted to, like, what Don was saying, like potential reproduction is like part of the thing I'm attracted to.
Even if you're attracted
I have
to
a question.
As a woman, they look very attractive as a woman. At a certain point, you're gonna want to fuck them. Like, I mean.
Yeah, but if I see a trans woman and I'm like, holy fuck, that woman's hot, and then I find out that she's a trans woman and not a woman, I'm not turned on by them anymore.
Hey, I've got a question then.
That crime game, right?
You're not Trav.
So, like, what about? So let me project. So let's say your female partner offers to do a sexual act that you don't find attractive, but that she seems to be genuinely interested in. And what about trying that? Is that somehow bad?
No, that's fine with so long as it doesn't go against my hard nose, right?
Right. No.
These hard
Sure.
nose.
What about
sure,
you?
but
What about you?
Let him finish, Nivek. Go ahead, Cheddar.
I'm sorry. So would that mean that if you like broke down into like a phrase, what you were saying is you're okay with it, as long as it doesn't break your hard nose? But why do your hard nose exist in the first place?
Because these are things that through experience I've identified that I don't want to be a part of my sex life. They are things that I find, I find them too unappealing to want to do under any circumstance. So whether it was your top celebrity crush, for me that's Alicia Silverstone, like in her prime. If she wanted me to like shit on her chest, or she wanted to shit on me and engage in scat play, like it's not happening even in that scenario.
Okay, just fuck.
Calm down.
Shit, hold on. I had
night, man.
Yeah, I know. I just, I'm trying to remain.
Okay, bro.
Well, me
uh,
personally, I think that if you're an open I'm sorry.
Are you okay with that? A woman that's really a guy? You're saying you're fine with it?
Everything depends on context. But if you're a truly open person, if you jack that value up to 100, then you'd have to be open to any sort of experience. So, and I would like to say that I've tried to, at the best I can, jack the open to experience up to as far as I'm willing to go, as long as I'm not hurting another person.
What do you mean by hurting? Like you don't want to
physically harming.
You don't want
physically
to cut
harming.
Someone?
Yeah, I don't want to cut someone. So
Okay,
like,
well,
but that comes in. That's
hard,
different
that's
value sets. But that's my philosophical value set. And as far as sexually goes, I'm willing to try anything except for things that break my moral standpoint.
Well, what's your moral foundation? I'd love to hear.
Don't hurt other people.
Don't.
Hurt other people? I don't. No, I don't really have.
Hurt is subjective.
Correct. I don't want to know that I have, in my subjective view of what hurting another person is, I don't want to have done that.
Okay, wow, that's gonna, because you're gonna So you're not gonna choke a woman?
Hurting would if choking
See,
is
where
one
this gets
thing,
muddy, right, Cheddar?
but choking isn't harming anyone. Choking to unconsciousness is hurting someone.
He said he's okay with the trans.
I'm okay with choking someone, but that's restricting someone's ability to breathe is not hurting
What
someone.
about fucking someone in the ass?
Yeah, of
Their
course.
first time. Yeah, but that's
Yeah, it happens.
I knew a girl who wanted to get choked out till she passed out
Yeah,
right before she
exactly.
comes, and then she wakes up like mid orgasm.
Yeah.
For her, it's like the best thing ever.
I-
It's totally
I
different.
feel like it's pretty obvious. I feel like it's pretty obvious that I mean things that would most likely produce lasting damage. That's really what I'm saying. Everything else is fine, and I'm like I don't want to cause scarring. Essentially, is what I'm saying.
Or your girlfriend was like, "Hey, I want to smoke weed. That can make lasting damage."
Weed is a lot better than you might give it credit for.
Well,
Not like smoking, physical smoke.
Yeah, putting smoke in your lungs, Cheddar. So let's jump into Cheddar's Mortal Foundation here. This is interesting, and it sounds to me like there may be some problems, but let's jump into it.
Moral foundations are essentially based in idealistic thinking, so you can't actually have a perfect moral foundation. At some point, you're going to break your own rule because you're a human and you have to. You cannot be an absolutist. It's impossible.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, Daniel, it's Daniel. You're really quiet. Can you boost your mic on your end? You go into
Honestly,
your
I
settings?
have no idea.
Go into your settings, like hold down on yourself, go into your settings. There should be a way for you to boost your mic. I'll turn you up on my end as well, but it'd be better if you can do it on yours. Is he really quiet to the rest of you?
He wasn't that quiet to me, honestly.
Yeah,
I don't.
If you're okay with getting with a woman, a person that looks like a woman, and they're really, they're genetically.
Yeah, you're talking about a trans woman.
And yeah,
Yeah, I don't want to. I don't want to get with a trans woman.
No, he said I'm asking him the question if he's okay with it. It sounded like he said he's okay. He's okay with it.
Yeah, he is. I think he said.
I don't think I would be okay
It's not
with it
that.
either.
It's not about being. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, that's just. I just don't think I would be okay with it either, but not for a lack of attraction.
But what if you took your open to experience gauge and you jacked it up to as far as you were willing to go? In that situation, you would be willing to try it even if it doesn't turn you on, right?
So that's where the hard no's come in that you'll identify your hard no's when you get to a point where you find something, like with you, Cheddar, with cutting, because you already said you're not going to engage in cutting, right?
I'd break that rule if she really, really wanted me to cut. If she wanted me to kill her, I would have to say no. No, if she wanted me to... My hard no is killing someone. That's literally where my hard no is.
What if
I just told you that absolutism is impossible.
What if you were in a situation where, you had to kill someone out in the wilderness because they were being eaten alive by flesh-eating bacteria, and you wanted to, cure their suffering, and they wanted you to put a bullet in their head, right?
I would absolutely put a bullet in their head, unfortunately.
Right. So you do have some. So my moral foundation is maximize well-being for myself and those around me, and well-being as the objective approach to human biological well-being that we attempt to understand in medical science. Now, you said we cannot be absolute about moral foundations.
Period. Correct.
You can call upon well-being as a metric for all of these decisions. Now, not every decision is going to be easy because you're going to try to do the well-being consequentialist calculus in your mind as you go along. But no one's saying the computation is going to be perfect. But But can you come up with any problems with my moral foundation?
Yeah. It doesn't seem like you're willing to fully flesh out exactly what it means to be a man or a woman. It seems like you're willing to just take the abstract concept and roll with that.
What does that have to do with well-being?
We were talking about sexual kinks and things like that. It doesn't seem like you've fully fleshed out what it means to be a man or a woman, and so that's where I would say your weak point is.
I don't think
well,
it has something.
I don't know what that has to do with. That's a is claim.
You asked
that's
me.
That's a. I use the scientific method to determine what is going on in reality. So whatever the scientific consensus is on what makes a man or a woman, that would be my answer.
I mean,
Just scientific consensus. That has nothing to do with. So like if you were talking to a woman, and she was essentially in every way a bro, and like not like a traditionally in as far as feminine terms attractive, just like, but she had a vagina, you would still say that you were willing to have sex with her because she was considered herself female.
I'll say this to you again. When it comes to what is going on in reality,
Uh-huh.
I use the scientific consensus. So if you're asking what I think things are, this is a question about objective reality, then I use the scientific method in my metaphysics for that.
Gotcha. So in your scientific method, how do you get to what is a man and what is a woman?
Well, we can just Google that, right?
No.
Wait,
Unfortunately.
Mild Cheddar, I agree with you. I think trans women are women.
Yeah, good point. Good point. So do you consider trans women women?
So would you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Would you,
yeah, 100%.
Don, would you say that that the scientific consensus is that trans women are women? Or do you think we're more talking about male and female? Because you and I have
male. I think science deals with male and female. When we talk about gender, that's much more sociological, and I think that trans women generally are like they're sociologically considered women.
Yeah. So Don differentiates between those two. I tend to because I think this is how these terms are used colloquially. I can give both answers. If we're talking about like sociologically how trans women ought to be viewed, then I think in most circumstances we can view them as women, apart from certain things like sports competition and things like this. I think there needs to be some upgrade there.
I agree. I can see that.
Yeah, but if we're talking about the colloquial usage of what is a man and what is a woman, people often view that through the lens of male and female as determined by our biology, right? And
this is one of my biggest.
So is that what you're saying you do?
Well,
I'm sorry to cut you off, man. I'm sorry.
That, right? I just explained it. So listen carefully. I said, colloquially, I see human beings speaking about men and women in the same way that scientists will talk about male and female. I see those things used interchangeably very often. So through that lens, you would say male and a man would be the same. But if we're talking about the odd of whether a non-biologically born male, if that male can actually be if that male can actually be considered a woman, if those categories are separate, then sure, we can have a conversation about whether in what context they should be considered women or specifically trans women. Like in sports, I think there should be a trans women category, and there needs to be work done in the trans communities to promote more athletics, and so that there's more competition, and that so they can actually be their own.
Hold on here.
Hold on.
I just want to know what your actual view about gender fluidity is. Is FaceApp considered being gender fluid?
Is what? Sorry?
Using FaceApp. I mean that's promoting those kind of standards these days, isn't it? Using FaceApp, changing your avatars and your gender on there and whatnot.
Oh, like yours?
Yeah, like mine. Yeah, exactly. Precisely. I was projecting there. I was asking a question.
So what's your question? What I think about you doing that?
Oh no, just people in general. I mean, this Face app is available for a lot of,
Yeah, I don't have a problem with people playing. This is all art. I don't have a problem with people doing this. It's like it's fun. I've changed my face to like a woman's face and created a thing, an old dude, and so I don't see any.
So we age fluid or like how does
I wanted to add though real quick to the conversation. Just to go back and be more precise, is if I was with a trans woman and I had no idea they were a trans woman, and maybe I'm a little bigoted, I have no idea, whatever it might play out sexually, I'm just once I know that there's no reproduction possible, I'm not as excited. Maybe I do a reproduction kink, whatever you want to call it. But if I had no idea, then I wouldn't have any idea and probably be super into it if I couldn't tell the difference, right?
Yeah.
Huh?
Right. No, you're saying you would be into it if you didn't know.
Yeah, if I had no idea.
Yeah, of course.
Into it now.
That if you believed it, that's satisfying your kink. You believe that, or your reproduction.
But I also don't ask women like, can you have children?
Yeah. No, I know, but that's
Right?
you imagine, right?
Because then when I think about it, I'm like, there's some girls like, oh, I can't have children. I honestly be like, oh, interesting. I don't know. I would feel different. Maybe I'm a bigot. Maybe I'm an asshole. But I don't even ask. So most of the time, there's a trans woman because I'm into vaginas. I'm not into penises. And had a vagina or like and I couldn't tell the difference. It wasn't like anything was off. I'd be like, yeah, I'm totally into it. I never ask.
So Dan, you would take it any way if a person didn't let you know that they were hung like a horse and that they just
I'm not into penises. I'm not into penises.
It's okay. You just roll with it.
No, I just said, Kevin, I'm
you
not.
You into horses, Nivek? What's going on here?
No, well, the argument is like you're with an attractive woman and you didn't know that she was hung. But
no,
what
never,
she's beautiful.
Never.
Never.
I was with a hot girl and I was making out with her and things were getting hot and spicy. Then she comes out of the bathroom with the dick and be like, "Ah, man, this sucks." Why does it suck? Because now I'm not gonna have sex with a hot girl. I'd be like, I'm not into that. It was fun to see at the bar, but I'm just not into
that. Interesting. Okay, I like it.
All right, that's it. No judgment there.
Recovering.
I'm gonna be mad at her. I'm not gonna be mad. I'm not gonna be like, "Oh, you fucking duped me. Oh, you're trying to make me be gay." Like, I don't give a fuck. It's irrelevant.
Right. Right, man. Good for you. Good for you.
If I was making out with a hot girl and I went back to her fucking apartment and she comes out with a fucking strap on, I'm also not into it. Right? Like,
interesting.
So you just continue kissing her, right?
Come on, bend over.
Continue kissing her? Honestly, I don't know. I've never been in that situation. Maybe. I have no idea. I've never been in that situation. How am I supposed
to man. That's where most people are.
I think I'm gonna take that stance as well. I've never been in a situation, but ideally, I would probably walk out if it was an attractive enough person.
Yo, maybe even. Oh my god, this is awesome. I'll jerk her off. She'll jerk me off. I have no idea. But what I do know is I don't like shitting my butt. Do you know how I know I don't like shitting my butt? I was like, how does it feel like? I put a finger up there. I was like, not for me, right? It was a very simple one. Like when I was young, I was like, how do I know if I'm gay or not? Let me look up gay porn. Wasn't interested. Added a woman, much better.
Well, it sounds like you're being played, man. Like the person is trying to get you.
Never trying to get you. No one is trying to get you. If you went with a girl, let's say a hot girl, I'm talking about like a dime. You've never seen a girl like this in your life.
And
like,
she was hung. How am I?
No, Nevik, you come out, all of a sudden, she's straight cis woman. You know, beautiful vagina, beautiful labia, everything is fantastic, amazing. And then in the middle of having sex, right? She pulls over to her night table and she grabs a fucking razor blade and starts cutting herself. She's like, lick it, Kevin, lick it. Would you be into it?
That is such a good way to put it, man. I don't know how else to say it. That is a fucking great way to put it.
Thank you. Would you be into it?
By the way.
Would you be into it, Kevin? Would you feel duped?
I'm saying you were con, man. You were.
No. Answer the question. Answer the question.
I gotta kind of. Okay, Nivik, I need to hear your question about the blood, but I know what Nivik's getting at. I think Nivik's saying, if someone presented as a really hot chick and you were like, oh yeah, I'm into chicks, like, oh, I can't wait to touch that pussy when we get back to my hotel room, and she's going along with it. She's like, oh yeah, my pussy's ready for you, and you get back and then a cock flops out. Then you've been
scenario. That's not saying you've been making out.
He doesn't say pussy.
You go back to the room, and then she pulls out a strap on. She just comes out of the bathroom with a strap on. She has a vagina, but she comes out with this big, like ribbed, fucking has like waves strap on. It's
A huge honker. But I think Nivik is more talking about the people that lead people to believe that they are something, and then like.
No, but she was talking about her pussy. She was like, "Oh man," yeah, my pussy is waiting for me. So wet, I can't wait for you.
No,
And
she
he's like,
doesn't say no pussy. She doesn't mention any genitalia.
yeah, she doesn't. She doesn't want to give you the pussy.
Anyways,
she wants to give you the D. That
Nivik,
big.
are you drinking the blood?
D.
Do you feel duped if she?
What are you gonna say? Is he's drinking the Kool-Aid?
I mean, I think it would only be a dupe if she said, "No, I'm not into that," and then that was what. It's still not a big deal.
It's a con
just doesn't want to be
to make you roll with it.
Nivik does not want to be conned into having a person he thought was a woman standing there, pulling her pants down and having a dick. That's what Nivik doesn't want, right, Nivik?
Yeah, that's what it is. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, but the strap-on scenario. Let me just try to clear this up. The strap-on scenario, Don pointed out, that's different to you, right? Right?
Oh, okay.
Like because she's not lying. She has a pussy, but she just didn't talk about the thing she wants to do to you, which is peg you. So she comes out with a strap-on on. You don't feel duped at that
I'm
point,
being
do you?
specific in exactly what we're talking about. In some trans, they do that with guys, and sometimes it really doesn't work out well. They beat the crap out of them because they don't let them straight.
Yeah,
they don't let them know straight up.
So if you get conned, look, if you get conned by a trans person and they actually have a dick in that scenario, you don't beat them up. You just say, "I wish you would have told me that you had a penis because you were saying all that stuff about like how you had a pussy." Like you don't beat people up. This is that whole thing I posted today, and I couldn't believe. Like I find it fascinating the difference on this. Like people like it's like, oh yeah. Snitches get stitches.
Oh,
like
Trav,
this philosophy, like this philosophy of like, oh, you know, if someone tells on you, you go bust their knee, or if someone does something like cons you in that way, you beat the shit out of them or something. It's like, when are we gonna get over this? Like,
you're right.
Morality.
Return to monkey.
That's
right?
Exactly. Return to monkey.
Chimps, man.
Yeah, that's a normal role.
Come on, man.
Little attack, man. Where's Scott?
Return to kangaroo, right?
Travis, you're right, dude. I think a lot of people who liked that were not joking because apparently, like I got into like a brief. It didn't really resolve itself or anything, but I got into a brief discussion with somebody in like the YouTube post you had of that. And it's like, they're serious, and it's like they talk like and I said this to a different guy because I just couldn't resist at that point, but they talk like they're some TV villain, like, hey, you gotta do what you gotta do, you know, fuck this, like, no, fuck you, dude, what do you think this is? What do you...
This is evidence of a widespread cultural issue that leads to unnecessary violence, and it's this idea that, oh, if someone tells on me, they're gonna get it, and I'm justified in busting their kneecap. It's like, you fucking, like...
Yeah.
All I can say is chimp. That is, I see chimps do this all the time.
No, the chimp talk, man.
Nobody likes a dirty.
We need to be less like chimps and more like bonobos.
Andy, I think you need to be less like a bonobo and more like a chimp. But everyone else.
I just want to say that the tavern is getting pretty full. We're over 9 people. If anyone has specific topics they want to talk or bring them up, and we can go into the specific chat. And then people who are interested will join you, and anyone who wants to stay and shoot the shit in the tavern like we're at a bar can go ahead and do that. So if anyone has a topic you want, don't feel bad about raising the question, like, hey, who wants to come with me to, let's just say, the God tab or the politics tab or the philosophy tab? Jolly and I love talking philosophy, so we'll probably follow a good philosophical thing. We're both philosophy majors and stuff, so that'd be fun.
Yeah, we'll rock it.
I just want to hang in Tav's tavern.
I just had to do it, you know. It's
I swear I'll let them talk, man. Come on.
I can go for a philosophization one.
Yeah? What question do you have? Let's see. Full bite.
Me?
Yeah.
I mean, one thing I was thinking about actually is remember when Stroga Zizek talks about the jealousy of a man of his wife when he thinks it might cheat on him, where he talks about the irrationality in that jealousy, or
I don't know, but I want to
certain thing.
Let's go in philosophy. I'm interested. Let's go.
I mean, hey! I don't know too much. I thought you can help me about it.
No, drop down
Yeah,
to
let's go.
philosophy and we'll discuss.
We'll
it
talk
down
about it.
there.
Yeah, we'll
What
discuss
the
down
fuck
there.
is philosophy? Oh,
Okay,
there it is.
sure.
Hey, Trav.
Yo.
If this place is a tavern, does that make you the bartender?
Hell yeah. No, I'm the janitor.
As janitor? Okay. You're the janitor with magic powers.
Why the janitor? More low key.
Because he's technically the most important member of the
cleaning up
crew,
your
but
shit.
yeah. But me, the whoever gets all the love. So yeah.
I need to grab some halls. I'll be right back. I have a sore
Some
throat.
what?
Halls.
I don't think. How do you grab a corridor? Hold on a sec, gents. I'll be right.
Hey Travis, I saw the movie Bird Box.
Oh, it's a candy.
You don't know what halls are? For your throat, man.
Oh, immediately I thought it was candy. I guess we know how my brain works.
Basically, Starburst.
Yeah, except like hard as fuck.
Do they have?
That's an Alan
Tums?
later.
Do they have Tums in Canada?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, that's the candy medicine I'm familiar with.
We just eat moose shit and call it Tums.
Moose shit and
yeah,
maple
this is
syrup.
great.
Yeah, you guys just get fucked by a moose and call it camping.
That is true.
The
I
plural moose meat.
Have you guys saw that?
I have not seen Bird Box, and I haven't seen pretty much any movie you could mention.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Navekian unit.
Ladies and gentlemen, Travis Pangburn.
One person applauses, the rest boo.
Boo. Yo,
Is that normal?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and when they do boo, he's like, yes, I want, because he's like the heel in wrestling.
They're saying boo earns.
What do they boo? Like,
Because he provides a platform for alt-right Nazis.
yeah, you should. You should do it. It sucks, but you should do it.
Jordan
Right?
Peterson is
Is
an
that like...
alt-right terrorist.
Well, I mean, like...
My SJW sounds like Daffy Duck.
Well, I mean, like, you should provide a platform for Nazis to say how, like, their positions, because you know they're ridiculous, right? That's like the moral, that's what you should do.
Yep. I think allowing open exchange, what I call the war of ideas, to play out is how you best deal with, ideas that you think are bad. And Daryl Davis is an example I point to as one of my heroes. He goes into the Ku Klux Klan rallies, and he has been talking to KKK members forever. He's a black man, and he's converted, hundreds, if not thousands, of KKK members out of that, and their families, of course. Just simply by engaging in intellectual discourse on the topic of race. And
so he's known for doing that, basically deconverting all these members of what is, I would imagine, a dying organization.
Well, and he doesn't
So
even...
They would stop letting him in.
Well, and he doesn't even go in with the idea of deconversion. He just goes in with the idea of, like, I want to hear their arguments, and I want to give, my good faith, helpful responses to those arguments.
So he has like
He's a saint.
curiosity approach to it.
Yep.
Yeah, he's very curious into the human condition, and if you watch, I suggest watching his TED Talk to get like a general understanding of how he operates. But yeah,
he's got a Joe Rogan interview as well.
Yeah,
it's pretty good.
I think I watched both of those.
Travis,
yeah, pretty good.
Have you ever looked at the background and his upbringing and his past? I'm guessing he's a Southerner, isn't he? Yeah, he is, right?
I'm just confirming with Wiki for a second here.
I wouldn't.
Just
I
trying to
wouldn't.
remember where he
I wouldn't
grew
have
up.
to. I wouldn't have to confirm that. I mean,
Yeah,
like,
he's from Chicago actually.
really?
Yeah.
He's from Chicago.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And he lives in the South.
He's in the Chicago music scene his whole life. Like he's an incredible boogie woogie piano player. And that's one of the first videos I saw of him was him banging on the piano because I play boogie woogie as well, as you guys or most of you guys know. Yeah, I love
Yeah,
that.
no,
I'm gonna wiki him. You can. I'm sure he's in Wikipedia.
Yeah, he's got a full wiki page, all his stuff there.
Daryl Davis.
Hey, Travis, I'm actually your music playing makes me curious about a question, but I keep not asking you. Do you buy or rent?
Buy or rent?
Those wings, you angel.
Oh my god.
I'm surprised. That's. I got that from Family Guy. I'm surprised you didn't know that. Oh, are you gonna play now?
Is that clear?
Yeah.
I got lozenges. Come on, baby, whole lot of shaking going on. Come on over, baby, whole lot of shaking going on. No, baby, whole lot of shaking going on.
Yeah, I can feel the Pangburn.
Feel the burn.
Well done. Well
Love your
done.
pangs.
Thank you.
Yeah. Classic stuff, man. Ah, Cafe in the Rain. There you go.
Two.
Well done, sir. Well done.
Thank you.
Indeed.
Skill deserves the appropriate amount of applause, so I'll give it to you.
Yes.
Well done. I liked it. Very good.
This music reminds me that I actually matched with 2 people on Tinder recently.
Yeah, that's even more applause. Good for you, bro. We're happy for you.
It's not there. Not much of a story has rang from the.
Yeah, but we're still happy for you.
Look them up, fuck them up.
Look, what? It sounds like I'm gonna fight them.
Is it just me, or is like a well-stated position a whole lot like listening to some sort of impressive piano solo?
Yeah, I completely agree.
It's weird that that's the case, right? Because it doesn't make sense, but it's like it's true.
So it's you know hearing
Synchronicity, maybe.
Here, let me play the. I'll show you what like a good argument. I'll play for you what a good argument sounds like to me and how I experience it, and then I'll play what a bad argument sounds like.
All right, go for it. I like it. I'll listen to it at least.
All right, here's the good argument.
All right.
Ready.
I like it.
That second guy kind of convinced me. I don't know.
So
isn't that
bad to my ear when I like the thing that triggers me most are bad arguments. Like
oh man, isn't that such a frustrating reality to live within though? Because that basically means whoever's most of the time in most conversations, obviously, the higher level you go, this changes. But at a basic level, the best. The people who will go the farthest are the people that are best at presenting their case. Not exactly being the most knowledgeable about the subject, but about being the best at presenting the case.
You're 100% right, and this is why I had to adopt, as part of my foundational ethic, this idea in conversation that I have to have absolute, ultimate patience for my own perceived stupidity. So if I hear someone,
fuck yeah, bro.
If I hear someone make an argument, and I try to pay this forward as much as I can and pass this on, but it doesn't matter if you're having a conversation with, Jordan Peterson or Richard Dawkins, or my mother, or someone I just met on the street. It doesn't matter who it's with. It just fundamentally, I have to have absolute patience for anything that I think is stupid. Because stupidity is not something that should be viewed as like something that can not be overcome. And I see people all the time just throwing other human beings into the stupid pile and doing away with them. I think that's
Travis, I gotta say, on a deep personal level, I really respect that.
Well, it's less stupidity and more positions that you view as wrong, right? Like, if they hold a lot of positions that you view as wrong, that would be the equivalent of stupidity, correct?
I'll be right back.
Yeah, so oftentimes when we, like, if you're going to use stupidity as a metric, and people say, and the reason why I use stupidity is that it's the colloquial language that people throw around all the time. So it's like, they'll be like, well, it's stupid to be a Trump supporter. Or it's stupid to accept anything Biden says because, he sniffs children's hair. Like you're gonna hear all of these things that other people are gonna constantly be calling that's stupid. No, they're stupid. Well, that was a stupid argument because they're not paying attention to the consistent relation of reality to logic, mathematics, and they're just forgetting about all that and just being stupid. But my point is, it's okay. It's okay to recognize stupidity. It's totally fine, and we've all been in the position of being the stupid person, right?
Right.
And my point is that afford people the same courtesy when they are in what you are perceiving to be the stupid position. and give them your ultimate patience, because someone through your life has likely done that for you. I'm almost certain about that. And
ain't that the wise choice? Good for you.
yeah, and I think as long as people, do their best with that, and I know it can be frustrating. We are passionate creatures, and we get frustrated. But if you get frustrated and you lose it, just don't ever throw that person into the stupid pile, the irredeemable pile. It's just such a mistake. And I think the way that political polarization the way group identities play out today, there's too much of that going on. Like, I would never sit down and have a conversation with a Trump supporter. I would never sit down and have a conversation with a Nazi. I would never sit down and have a conversation with a Black Lives Matter member. I would never sit down. Like, people start getting these lists of people they would never sit down with because their sheer existence under whatever label that you have demonized in your mind is not worthy of your patience. I think that's a mistake.
Right.
So
I think that you are absolutely correct. Well said.
What are you drinking?
I'm drinking aloe.
Good for you. It's great.
I think you're supposed to drink.
More people should. More people should. It's delicious.
Yeah, it's juice, man.
I thought that aloe was the stuff you put on your hands because they're dry.
Well, there's that. This isn't the hand cream aloe.
But
you're right.
But they're both called aloe.
See, this is that patience for perceived stupidity I was talking about.
No, it isn't.
Travis, I'm confused.
Oh man. Hey, I've had a pretty good time. I guess before I leave, I'll say Pangburn real quick. Your YouTube channel is fantastic. I mean, I like to be aggressive, like when I think about stuff. So I just wanted to mention that it's really nice to see people that, even if I don't agree with their specific opinions, it's great to see the obviously the platform for which to have conversations about things. It's not super there's not very many places to find that. So thank you. It's nice.
Yeah, thanks for saying so, and I'm really glad you found this Discord, and I've deeply appreciated your discourse tonight. I don't know if you're heading out.
I am. Yeah, it's probably time for me to go to bed anyway.
Yeah, and please do come back, because you have a lot to give as far as I can tell. So.
Awesome. I would really appreciate being heard every once in a while, but I'll try not to command any conversations, and I'll try to be respectful to the community. That kind of stuff.
Oh, it's all good, man.
Right on. Anyway, like I said, thank you for that. Thank you for the finding you through YouTube, which is where I found you, and or at least your community. And yeah, good night, guys.
Yeah, peace out, man.
Good night.
Later.